Congratulations on your new puppy. We are so excited to have you join the Paws4Ever Puppy School, and we wanted today to go over a few things to help you and your puppy be the most successful in class that you can be and get the most out of it. If you have not already sent us your vaccination records for your puppy, you can email those to train@paws4ever.org, or you can bring them with you on the first day of class. First, let's discuss what to bring to class. We would love to have you bring a 6-foot leash, leather, cloth, some kind of material. We would love to have you bring either a flat collar or a body harness for your puppy. Please bring treats, both low value and high value, more treats than you think you will ever possibly need. Please bring a mat or a towel or a bath mat, something for your puppy to settle on while you're listening to your instructors talk, a Kong, or some kind of a chew toy, something that your dog can settle with when they're on the mat while you're listening. And also please bring a sense of humor. Puppy training should be a lot of fun, and we're going to encourage you to have fun in class. What not to bring to class? Please don't bring a choke chain, an electronic collar, a prong collar, and please don't bring a retractable leash or a flexi lead. Those are more difficult to work with in class, and they take up a lot of your hand as you're trying to hold them. The leash is better. If you don't have a regular 6-foot leash, we have plenty at Paws4Ever for you to borrow. Okay, let's talk some about how we're going to train our dogs. Puppies don't speak English. It's one of the most frustrating things about them. And this is puppy kindergarten, so we're really just looking for them to learn their colors and their ABCs. We're going to keep the more complicated things for them to learn for later classes. We're going to basically be teaching our puppies English as a second language, and the first word that they're going to learn is yes. We call that a marker word, and we use that word to tell them that was perfect, that's exactly what I wanted you to do, and here's a cookie to reward you for doing the thing that I wanted you to do. We're going to use our marker word yes to build the behaviors that we like, and we're going to name those behaviors later. So if I have a puppy who does not know how to sit or what the cue sit means, and I say sit, 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 and my puppy's not sitting down, he's going to come to think that that word means carry on with whatever you're doing. Sniff the ground, go over and explore something else, jump on me. He's not going to put the concept together that sit means put your bottom on the ground. We're going to teach him what that means with just our marker word yes, and using our treats to get the behavior we want, and we can name it any old time later. So don't worry too much about sit or stay or come. We're going to work on cues as we get our puppies doing the thing that we want them to do. So how are we going to get those behaviors that we want to encourage in our puppies? We're going to use 2 training methods. The first one is called luring, and that means that I've got a piece of food in my hand, and I'm going to move that food around to get my dog to do the behavior that I want. If I lift my treat over my puppy's head, in order to look up, their bottom goes down on the ground. So there's my sit. If I want it down, I'm going to take that treat down to the ground. It's likely that my puppy will follow that down and lie down. The second way of training that is sometimes more effective, but we don't have time to do it in an hour-long class, and that's called capturing. Capturing means my dog has offered me a behavior that I particularly like, but that I did not ask for, and I'm going to capture it by rewarding it. Whatever you reward, you will get more of. Dogs, just like us, do what works for them, and they will continue to provide you these behaviors if they're getting reinforced for them. As humans, we tend to get all involved when something has gone wrong with our puppy. They've gotten into the trash, or they've run off with a hairbrush, or they've run out the door. That's when most people say, get the treats out, it's time to do some training. I'd like you to switch that a little bit and start rewarding the behaviors that you would normally ignore when your puppy is being lovely and lying at your feet. That is a behavior I would like to encourage for the future, so I'm going to reward it with a little piece of food. If my puppy runs up to me and sits down instead of jumping on me, I'm going to reward that behavior. If you don't have a cat, because cats like to knock things off of shelves, we would encourage you to keep some little jars of treats around the areas of the house where you spend the most time with your puppy, so that when your puppy offers you a behavior you particularly like, you can reach over and grab something and reward them right then and there. So what are those behaviors that we would like to capture? You can capture attention, your dog looking you in the face. You can capture any calm behavior that you like, lying quietly beside you, a dog that walks up to you and sits rather than jumping on you. 4 feet on the floor is always a behavior that you can capture. Let's talk about treats for a second. We don't want to fill up our puppies during class. So I would encourage you to keep the size of your treats, whether they're commercial treats or high-value meat treats, to about half the size of your fingernail. If it's a very small breed dog, maybe a quarter of the size of your fingernail. I like to work with a large piece of treat in my hand. Say I'm working with a hot dog, I might have a whole piece of hot dog in my hand. That is not what my dog is going to get for every sit or down that they offer me. They're going to get a little piece that I pull off. But if you think of your treat like a magnet, the bigger the magnet, the better the attraction. So I'm more likely to get my dog's attention if I have a large piece of treat in my hand rather than if I'm working with what they're actually going to get. Please, at this stage of your puppy's training, be very generous with your treats. We're trying to build in these behaviors for a lifetime. You might have this dog for 10, 15, maybe 20 years. If you put some time in now and really treat them with generosity, those behaviors will continue for the rest of their lives. Every week in class, we're going to be bringing out a novel object for your puppy to play with. It might be a cardboard box, it might be a fit bone, it might be a wooden ramp for them to walk across, it might be a platform. We want to encourage our puppies to experiment with these new things, objects, surfaces, but we also don't want to force them to interact with these things. If your puppy is at all hesitant to try whatever we've asked you to try with them, call over your teacher. She has lots of ideas for how to help your puppy build their confidence. Finally, we have some classroom rules. When you're on your way in from the parking lot or in the classroom itself, please keep your puppies from meeting other puppies while they're on leash. We will have a playtime for them to meet the other puppies, but when they're on leash is not an appropriate time for them to interact. Secondly, if your puppy needs to have a potty break during class, that's fine. Just let one of the instructors know. We would prefer that you not open the door into the building or any of the exterior doors without an instructor knowing that you're going to open a door. If you'd like to pet another puppy in the class, please make sure that that's okay with the guardian before you do so. It's always nice to ask a guardian, "May I pet your dog?" before you reach down and interact with the dog. We are also asking that everyone who attends our classes be fully masked out in the parking lot and also in the classroom for the length of the class. We're going to have a fun 5 weeks, and I'm really excited to get to know you and your puppies. Thank you.